Nowadays, almost every game allows you to play it the way you want it by choosing your own playstyle. The goal behind this is to accommodate the game to yourself so you can be effective no matter what your personal strengths or weaknesses as a player are. Moreover, your vision of yourself can now become true, and you can be anything you want to be. Or can you? Because oftentimes this is a false illusion of choice. If your character does not match your playstyle, you will perform worse, and your weaknesses will become mistakes. Moreover, if you're not playing to the strengths of that character, you basically turn useless. This is not a big problem in casual gaming, since it can be a lot of fun, but it will become a serious issue in a more competitive setting. Personally, I refer to this as the holy trinity of gaming, and that is the perfect balance between the player himself, the character you are playing, and the build path you choose. Let me explain that a little bit more. Every character that you can choose has a kit. This includes all of his stats, all his abilities, and all the synergies within that kit. This results in a most efficient equipment plan or an optimal build for maximum effect. If you choose a character that suits your own playstyle, you can use that most effective build. If your and your character's playstyle do not match, you have to adjust and build against your weaknesses instead of towards your strength, for example by favoring health over an additional effect that would let your damage stats go through the roof. In general, there are three base playstyles: the onslaught, the tentative, and the tactical approach. The onslaught is an offensive approach that allows you to assess the situation while you are in it. For example, you can run into a mob and meanwhile decide if you want to pull through with it or if you need to pull out. Therefore, you require high defensive properties so you can walk away at a moderate pace, not burning any expensive resources, and moderate damage since your defense allows a prolonged type of fighting. The tentative approach is more of an in and out style. You want to make a small investment, and if that pays off, continue to all in, while still retaining the possibility to back off if the situation no longer favors you. Most of the times you will be testing the waters, trying to land poke damage, which is why you will need a good mix between damage to land that poke effectively and wrap up the all-in after, and utility to keep yourself safe at all times. The tactical approach is the true all-in style, in which your objective is to set up a situation that will let you come out on top. This does not necessarily mean instant death, only if you are an assassin, but you want to create a strong imbalance between yourself and your opponent. Since the window of opportunity you get is rather small, you will want high damage, be that burst or DPS, and some good outplay potential through mobility or utility. The difference between the tactical and the tentative approach is that the tactician has planned it all ahead. He already knows where to jump, when to turn, when to switch targets, when to use utility or mobility to come out on top before they actually engage in the fight. This is why you should choose your character based on whether their most effective playstyle and build match your own playstyle, and then invest the time to learn their most important mechanics to achieve that perfect balance. Although I know that there's oftentimes a difference between the playstyle you think is the coolest and the one that you actually practice. I'm not saying you cannot learn a different playstyle, but you will have to invest a lot more time and frustration, and in most cases this is really not worth the trouble. Most games do their best to allow any playstyle and every niche, so investing time in finding that option is far better than forcing yourself to do something that does not come naturally. Playing to your own strength is just as important as playing to your character's strength. The more you get in tune with your character, the easier decision making will come. My advice to you is to be honest with yourself, figure out your playstyle, and find that one character that fits your playstyle and the niche you are trying to fill, and then give yourself around 10 hours or 20 rounds to get acquainted with that character. If you gave this a go and I highly recommend it, please let me know how it went in the comments, and leave a like if you found any helpful tips. Until then, good luck and have fun.